Welcome to episode number 288 of the Keep Up podcast.
Where every time you go to the dollar store, you only have 99 cents, and that's your problem.
Is that a thing you experienced recently?
I feel like there's a couple phenomenons in life.
Don't
do it. No.
Phenomenons.
Don't.
Do.
Stop. Please, brother.
In your life.
When you see a car for the first time and you think how cool that car looks, then you see it everywhere.
Yes, or you get that car.
Not
that you've experienced that.
No, I get cars, man.
Tim doesn't get cars.
You know how many cars I bought in The Crew?
Oh, I loved that game.
Yeah.
I really liked that game a lot. Man,
You know
I miss
there were
playing
3 of
video
them?
games. 3?
Yeah. There was The Crew,
Brother,
The Crew 2, and then The Crew...
I mean, I imagine 3, no?
No, it's like...
Is it called like Justice on the Street or something?
It's like Worldwide or World Star.
Even more cars. The Crew 3, even more cars.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Crew. I hope there's a Lion and the Witch.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Pit Crew.
That's a better one.
Wait, is it called Crew because of a pit crew? No, it's not like a racing game.
No,
like
the
that.
idea is you're supposed to drive with your crew.
Oh, the idea is supposed to drive with your crew.
Also, we're in like the official hot days of the Keep Up.
The hot days.
Where we're gonna forget that the AC is on sometimes.
Oh, is it on?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm just saying eventually we'll get to the point. Like we're gonna be actively sweating by the end of this.
We should also call out the elephant in the room. Mm-hmm. Babar.
Babar?
Remember Babar, the elephant?
Like the one who had a crown and wore a green like shirt.
Yeah.
Babar.
Yeah,
What a cut.
Yeah, super deep. We each have a different mic because one of our nice. I don't know what elephant you were thinking about, but
there's a lot.
One of our nice new. Oh, that's true.
There's a lot of elephants.
One of our nice new mics.
Yes.
Has static syndrome. I don't know. It's all staticky. It's making weird noises. I did some troubleshooting, which a couple tricks up my sleeve from years of tech work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he was going at it.
And what I determined is Tim's mic working great.
Hi.
My mic, not so much.
Not so much.
So
what you're saying is the mics were not as nice and new as we may have thought.
Only one of them was an imposter, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
one of the mics was like, "I'm here to stay," and the other one was like, "Me too." And we didn't notice it was talking weird.
No, we didn't want to judge.
I'm also new, nice and fresh and new.
Don't I sound so young and hip?
Hello, other young new Mike. Aren't I the same? Aren't we the same?
We have the same insides, the same outsides.
Nothing old or refurbished. I'm so new.
What we learned is maybe we should judge people every time we see them.
Is that what we learned?
That's what I learned from this. It's going to be a sweaty one. Dude, I'm sweating.
Are you sweating?
I'm sweating.
You're nervous, dude. It's our first time on the big screen.
Dude, life has been hectic.
Yeah, I mean, that's a kind word for it.
Yeah.
For you, I feel like you guys have been through the ringer lately.
There has been a lot going on in my life.
Yeah.
But.
Oh, wait, real quick. Welcome to the Keep Up Podcast, where I'm Brett and Tim is Tim.
That's me.
And we talk about things we consume, be it media or food.
Yes.
It's been at least like 2 weeks since we made a podcast, I think.
Because we did one.
Make a podcast? You technically do, but that sounds stupid.
Yeah.
Recorded, whatever.
Recorded, artistry is in the eye of the beholder.
I don't always sound this tired, also, if you're new.
Yeah. So Brett's getting beat up at work.
Yeah,
not
physically.
by a bully, but by life, by hours, time. We're always racing time,
dude.
And yeah, my life at home has been
sad. Really sad.
I had another one of my puppers pass away. Hootie, Hoots Magoots.
It's weird to hear you say it. It's weird that he's gone.
I know it's it's still relatively fresh, but I think as opposed to the last time when it happened with Brody, Brody's was like sudden, so I didn't really have time to like come to terms with it.
Yeah.
And with Hootie, like we knew he was sick a week ago.
A week is still not a lot of time.
Still not a lot of time.
I mean, that's how it goes with pets
Yeah.
a lot. But it's just like, and when was Oscar? When did that happen?
Oscar, I keep wanting to say last year, but I think it was 2 years ago at this point.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Okay, because I keep feeling like that was also just months ago.
Yeah, it was relatively recent. It's been pretty back to back, but I'm pretty sure Oscar was 2 years ago.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah.
That it's been that long. But either way, 2 dogs in the span of like 2 months.
Yeah, essentially.
Is insane.
Yep. And then Hootie had a very, I don't know if it was exactly the same as Brody's, but essentially it was the same end result where there was bleeding on the inside. It was internal bleeding. And so, yeah, we had the option to, we had the option to put him down right then and there or try to keep him a little while longer and give him some medicine to help like clot up the blood and not make his time left uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So we just had to keep him around, and so we had a nice week with him though. He's
good.
going outside. He wasn't very sickly until basically the last day. He had one rough day, but it's just so I'm in the mindset of like I just want to jump into like what I do for work and just not necessarily like run away from feelings and stuff, but kind of just a different mindset this time around instead of taking a week off and kind of just like sitting with it. I'm not moving on, but just like keeping myself busy essentially.
Yeah. I think that's an okay way to cope. It's not like you're ignoring it, but you don't necessarily have to dwell in it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And again, I kind of had a week of prep anyways, knowing it was coming.
Is different. Yeah.
So yeah, it was a completely different experience.
Yeah. Cause with Brody, who was the last dog that passed away, it, like you said, it was sudden. So you kind of had to do your, like, it was your realization and grieving all at one time.
Yes.
Whereas this, it was able to like set in a little bit.
Right. Knowing that the time was coming.
Yeah. But then you can't stop the grief no matter what. There's no like, because it's the finality of like, oh.
Yeah. Yep. You think about all the things and that's the worst part is like your mind's running and thinking of all the, different like the last things he did or things like that. Like,
yeah, it's weird. You kind of can't. I mean, I'm sure some people can, but I can't stop myself from doing that. It's like I don't know, like a movie that immediately starts playing. And it's like, no, I don't want to watch that.
It's like,
right
I don't need to think about it.
Not right now.
No, it's not. Yeah, it is just things that your brain goes through. Because you kind of, at least for me, like I put myself in that situation. Like I think about myself. I think about like family members. I think about everybody going through the cycle of life, and animals is basically a more condensed version because they just have shorter lives.
Yeah.
So you get to not that you get to, but you experience life in a shorter form with these animals, and especially you get as connected as attached as you do with any human too.
Yeah.
Some people would even argue more so than humans.
Right. I know. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just weird. Pets are just weird.
I know
that they exist for such a short amount of time, but have such a huge impact. And Hootie is one that I think everybody really loved and knows, and everyone in the house goes, "Hoots Magoots! Look, it's Hoots!" Like it's. Yeah, we'll just notice his lack of presence for a while, I think.
Yeah. Dang, dude. I'm sorry, man. It's such a bummer.
Hey, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's part of having pets. You got to go through it all. So
it is. You're unfortunately kind of signing up for
for the eventual time, but
it's so sad
having 2 dogs back to back as quickly as it was, because Hootie was a year younger than Brody, and the thing he had isn't necessarily like it wasn't a thing he like contracted or anything. I guess it was just something that happens in a lot of dogs, which was the growths that happen inside the body, and they start like bursting, causing internal bleeding. And I guess it happens in a ton of dogs, which I didn't know, but
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, so.
But now we know that, I guess.
Yeah, I am just emotionally drained.
Yeah.
And so, but we're here to do a podcast. We're going to have some fun.
Here we are, episode number 288.
Oh. Another elephant in the room, and you may notice if you have a keen eye, speaking of eye, Brett's eye.
Oh, I keep forgetting about it, dude. Shut up. I don't know what's going on with my right eye. On Friday, it started feeling like dry and hurt. And then Saturday it was fine. Sunday it was fine. Monday I felt like all different kinds of sick, super exhausted. And halfway through the day, my eyes started feeling weird again, and it swelled up crazy. Like it looked like I couldn't open my right eye.
It's not like conjunctivitis or anything, right?
No, because there's no like residue. Like there's nothing. It's literally just swelling. Just my eyelid is swelling. So it actually is better today than it was yesterday. I forgot about it till I got here, and I walked in, and literally my mom was like, "Well, she's our mom.
Yeah.
I don't know why I edited
Come on,
that. Sorry, I'm claiming her now." I walked in, and she's like, "You look terrible." I was like, "Hell yeah, thanks, Mom. I appreciate it."
Always, when I say someone looks rough, I do it in a caring way.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, "Are you feeling all right?"
Yeah.
Or,
But you look terrible. It's a tough one to talk your way out of. So
I would expect nothing less from her. I wasn't worried about it.
Right,
But,
she will.
but I did forget about my eye. So if you
Yes.
can see it, I apologize.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't. That's life. I just can't help but look at it when I'm looking at you because one eye is like fully open. I'm like,
I
oh, that's
know.
Brett, and then the
I
other
know.
eye, I'm like,
You're like, who's that guy?
who's that guy over
Dude,
there?
I'm working on a Two-Face.
A Two-Face scenario.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
But yeah, so everyone out there, you guys rock. Just for enjoying the stuff we make, understanding when we have to take some time off for, whether life's being crazy or not. You guys just are awesome and supportive, and I appreciate all of you.
Yeah, same. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. This has been episode number 280. No, I'm just kidding. But special shout out to patrons too. You will have them, but we are late on our Patreon content.
We're not late.
We're not late. That's right. Later than
time.
anticipated. What I'm trying to say is we meant to have everything out starting last week, but I could not get here. Like last week's schedule, I was trying so hard to get here.
Yeah.
And the reason I sound so drained is the way my job is right now. I'm literally working 11 to 13 hours, like almost every day, like on average. Occasionally I luck out with like a 9 or 10 hour day, but I just could not get here to record. It was such a pain. So we're finally getting to do that today. And yeah, we will still make it within the time frame, but it's like tail end of the month.
Yeah.
So
If it's a day late, don't look.
No,
Don't look.
don't worry about it.
But we should be good as long as I think we
we'll
got
be
it.
okay. But yeah, everybody, patron or not, we appreciate you guys. We're sorry for the random intervals between is that the word? I don't know.
Intervals?
Gaps between podcasts on occasion. I don't know, dude.
Yeah,
it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Life is life, and we're just lifing.
A guy I work with today was like, "You and your buddy are crazy," and I was like, "What?" And he was, and the way our job is, like, I know the guys, but we don't, just we're passing ships or whatever the phrase is. I don't know, cars on the highway.
Yeah.
Or ducks in a row. And so I actually saw him at a gas station, and he was like, "Yeah, you and your buddy are crazy," and I was like, "It's 5 a.m. What are you talking about?" And he was like, the stuff you guys talk about, you show up on my TikTok. And I was like, "Oh, that's my brother." So he's been seeing the keep up.
That's so funny.
He's like, "I don't even know what you guys are talking about, but it makes me laugh. Good stuff." I was like, "All right, cool. That rules."
I always wonder, because sometimes, like, I know we're funny, but I wonder how much our stuff translates to people who don't understand the things we're talking about.
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
Are we funny just the way we talk and the way like the stories are told or whatever, or are we also like funny because people are interested in what we're talking about too?
Yeah, the hope has always been that even if we're talking about something you don't know about, it's still entertaining. So that's the thing I'm not sure about. But yeah, there's been a weird thing happening. This is only kind of related, but on our TikTok specifically, our last like handful of videos have been getting an above average amount of likes and 0 comments on any of them.
Weird.
Very weird. Like 5 in a row.
Yeah.
Tons of views.
And no comments.
No comments, but like our last one, I think I put it up late last night, and it's nothing crazy, but like 80 people liked it.
Yeah.
0 comments. Like
and how many views? Like in the thousands or whatever?
I forget it. Yeah. Look. I'm so sorry, Tim.
No, that's fine. That's bizarre though. That's I don't know what that is, because if you're shadow banned, you usually don't get your videos don't get viewed at all. Yeah.
And one of them, we got 1 comment after a few days, so I was like, all right, they work. But I'm like, how did that many people? Just like the statistics seem off.
Of people watching it, but not
one person wanted to say something.
Yeah,
I mean,
even
fine,
the usual people comment. We usually have a couple usual suspects, but
right.
Again, it's that's the game. Like you never see people comment. You never expect anybody to comment, but it is interesting when you see like something like that should be different. Like when you post something and there's a severe lack of comments and you wonder what's the difference between all these videos and recent ones. Yeah.
I mean, maybe there was just nothing to say because it was random clips of the podcast.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
There's always something to say. Don't be afraid. I've learned that if I feel some emotional thing from a video, I will comment, regardless if I know the people, if I know anything, I will comment because I know the value of a comment.
Totally, yeah. It's very true.
So I try to be more proactive in writing my thoughts.
That's nice to do because you don't have to do that, you know?
No, I don't. But I do it for the people.
You do it for the gram.
For the society.
Yeah, that's true for the society.
Speaking of society.
Yeah.
What do we want to go into?
I have no idea.
I could go into movies.
Whatever you want to do.
Okay.
I will follow you into the gates of film.
Oh. That was nice.
Ooh, let's go to the movies.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Have you been watching anything?
Dude.
Life has been kicking you in the nards and you can't...
I've wanted to... Oh, you know, I watched one movie.
Would you like to talk about it while I pull up the list?
You
don't have to.
I'll briefly throw it out there. I watched a movie called Dark Waters, starring Mark Ruffalo. That just came out on Netflix. It is about the real-life lawyer who was responsible for Teflon being exposed as poisonous. So the black stuff on pans and the origin of that. It's very much... Have you seen Erin Brockovich?
No.
Okay, I only saw it very recently, and Rachel was like, how have you never seen this? I'm like, I don't know. So it's very similar to that. If you're familiar with Erin Brockovich, it's a true... I guess, what would you call it? Like a court drama kind of thing, but it's a little guy versus big corporation kind of story. And it's very good. It is true, which is only a negative in that there's a little bit of frustration at the reality of it. Because it's one of those, it ends and then it has a couple of text cards that's like, here's, after this, here's what happened. But it's very interesting. It is one part scary, like almost like I don't mean like horror. I mean like when you watch a documentary about something that you did feel safe about.
Yeah.
And now you're like,
oh, that's not good.
So, but Mark Ruffalo's great, and Anne Hathaway's also in it.
What made you decide to watch it? It just popped up?
Rach and I just finally had a night to watch a movie, and we've been trying to get the kids to watch The Dark Knight, but they have not been in the mood to watch a movie lately.
Freaking kids.
Driving me crazy, because we did it right. We had them watch Batman Begins first, and they liked it, but as predicted, it was a little harder to hold their attention, but I know they're going to love The Dark Knight, and we just can't catch them on the right night. They're too, they have all these other things they want to do. They want to play games with their friends, and they only have certain amount of time, the weekend, or they have a lot of homework and studying right now because it's end of the year. So they have
might that crunch.
They got a ton of testing and stuff like that. But anyways, so we were just looking to watch a movie, and we did the thing where it was like, all right, don't take too long to pick one. Rach was like, this looks new, it might be interesting. I was like, all right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
We just watched that. Super
Went
random.
Right to it, yeah.
But yeah, that's good. I'd say it's absolutely a keeper. Very well acted. The story's great. It is... If you have seen Erin Brockovich, it is eerily similar to it, like almost beat for beat.
But it's not the same content.
It's not, but they're both true stories.
Okay.
So it's kind of crazy in that right how similar the stories are.
I'm honestly an absolute sucker for courtroom dramas or anything involving like lawyers and stuff like that. I'm like eating it up all day.
Yeah, I think you'd really like it. It's just very well told, and it moves along at a really good pace too. Because it's I think it's a little over 2 hours. It's really funny. It's pretty artfully done. Like there are these long shots early on, and it was very funny because it was really good looking shot, really pretty. And Rach was like, well, I can see why this movie's over 2 hours long because it was the longest panning shot of a couple of kids on bicycles.
Yeah.
But then later you see that was for a reason.
Gotcha.
So it's pretty cool. It's well done in that way. There's not a ton to look at in the way of cinematography, but because it kind of takes place in this small farm town type area. But it is very good. Movies at a really good pace. I would say it's a keeper. Dark Waters on Netflix.
On Netflix.
On
Okay.
Netflix.
Yeah, no, I've never heard of it, so I will definitely give
Brand new, dude. You can't hear about everything.
No, I can't. Life is full of mysteries.
It's true.
And we got to find them out.
Yeah.
And one of life's mysteries
Tell
for
me what it is.
Was I love the Alien movies. I've seen Alien.
Yeah.
I've seen Alien
Yeah.
and Aliens.
And that's it?
I've never seen Alien 3 or 4.
That was a hard hit. I'm sorry,
okay.
dude.
Dude, it was nothing.
It felt like it hurt you.
No. Dude, I am so strong.
Tim's acting like I didn't hurt him just now.
It's great.
365 days till hockey tryouts. You get that reference
I do,
now.
yeah. I saw Happy Gilmore,
Oh my
which
gosh.
we can talk about that later. But,
Yeah, which is the third film in the Alien franchise.
right. They went a completely different direction, which I wasn't ready for.
Happy Gilmore.
Dude, classic. So I decided that it was time that I watched Alien 3.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched Alien 4 yet, or Alien Resurrection. Haven't watched it yet. But
man.
I did watch Alien 3.
Oh, man.
But before all that, I rewatched Aliens.
Okay, yeah.
It still holds up.
I just watched it recently.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Did you watch the extended cut or just the basic? Because on HBO Max, and this is a pro tip to anybody out there, HBO Max and Hulu, if you click on the movie and go down to the extras, they have the extended cuts there.
Oh, shoot.
They have it for a lot of things.
I did watch it on Max, but I think I watched the standard cut.
Yeah. Which when I was reading about it, people seem pretty split on
whether it's worth it.
Yeah, on if the cuts are, because I guess for Aliens it was they went back and did director's cuts of all of them for like a big collection that was coming out, and so they had all the directors come back and make these like special editions.
That's cool.
But people are split because they're like, well, that was like they went in for the money or whatever discussion. Anyways, all that to say,
okay, I can see that angle.
I watched the director's cut of Aliens, and it was awesome. It was still holds up in so many regards.
Yeah.
Visually, it's still a little cheesy at times. Don't get me wrong. Like some of the lines, the soldiers are excessively like ooh hoorah, like they're pretty intense. But it's just like. It's cinema, and it makes me just constantly reflect on modern movies and how they just feel so different.
Was that? No, I'm thinking of Terminator. That wasn't James Cameron, was it?
James Cameron, yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, that man has done so much.
Like Aliens and Judgment Day alone.
Right.
Is insane.
Hold on, I'm gonna double check. I'm pretty sure, but I'm gonna be super sure because it's you have James Cameron, you have Ridley Scott, and then you have David Fincher,
who did 3.
Yeah,
okay.
But yeah, James Cameron had to be sure. But like, what a crazy list of directors. Have you seen much of David Fincher's stuff?
I don't think so.
Okay, he's done. He did like Zodiac. He
Yep.
did. I think he did Prisoners.
Haven't seen it.
Let me just make sure. David Fincher.
He's a director who
he did 7.
Oh, I've seen 7.
7, Gone Girl, Zodiac, Social Network.
I've only seen parts of Zodiac. I never sat down and watched the whole thing, but 7's incredible.
Yeah, he's has a really good list of movies. So it's funny because Alien 3 is rough. Is a rough film. Yeah. It's not bad. I see what they're trying to go for.
Yeah.
From what I understand, there was a ton of studio. They were stepping in and making changes and constantly like, fix this, change that, do this. I will say, incredibly bold what they do in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yes. Yes, I know.
It like insane.
Annoyingly so.
Considering how like prolific Aliens is and what happened in that movie. And 3 is like, reset, like fresh start. It's like, okay, but not like a reset like you expect. So very bold of how they started that movie, especially for what the movie was ultimately. It's crazy. It's so crazy.
Yeah, I remember that because I watched that for the first time when I got it was like the Alien Predator box set.
Oh, and it had all of the movies?
Yeah.
Oh,
all the
really
Alien
cool.
movies, all the Predators. But this was a long time ago. I think only Predator and Predator 2 had come out. And then the AVPs. But yeah, so I was watching them in succession. So watching Aliens and then being like, oh, finally Alien 3. Like, I don't know anything about it. And I started it and I was like, whoa.
Okay.
Why?
And I mean, there's not a clear answer other than like studios coming in and changing things. Specifically Fox. I guess Fox is just really brutal about it. 20th century.
Swiper, no swiping.
Swiper, no swiping. But yeah, as far as the movie goes, there are some
Get it?
cool
'Cause
moments.
oh, wait. Swiper's not a fox, is he?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
It was a great one, actually. And I didn't realize what it was until you just told me, so I'm glad you told me.
Because they're stealing our joy.
Yeah. Joy to the world.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
All right, so.
So, yeah, it just felt like we were getting to the point where the franchise might have been going on too long.
Is this the one with the baby alien?
No.
Okay.
Oh, there's a baby alien. No, this is the prison one. Where
The prison one.
Where
There's a basketball scene?
Nope. Dude. I do know the basketball scene though.
From Catwoman?
Yes, that one specifically.
What a crossover.
That was so good. But yeah, Alien Alien 3.
Yeah, careful.
I had to be very specific here. Yeah, the xenomorph was pretty cool in it. I felt like it was the budget just in general was lower. Like I felt like the alien.
I do remember it feeling that way.
The alien they used some some very early 3D effects for. It was like running across the ceiling, and it doesn't look great.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's like the version I was watching, and they went back because I guess they went back and made some changes. So I don't know if that's how it originally looked, but I don't think that was the case.
When did it come out?
92.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is crazy. How many years? Because Aliens was 86, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, so the time frame of these movies is
I
fascinating.
mean, it makes sense if there was any CG that it would suck. Although Jurassic Park was 93, and that still makes no sense to me.
Jurassic Park looks so good still.
I don't understand how.
Because they knew they were making magic, movie magic.
It's crazy.
Yeah, Alien 3 was 92.
Yeah, I remember it feeling lower budget, and like the xenomorphs in Aliens they were so effective.
Yes.
Even in Alien was really effective, but 2 was just a whole different level.
Yes.
More closer,
Yep.
more effects.
Mm-hmm. I think they were really practical too. Like they went heavy with the practical.
Yeah.
Where this one again, I think they were trying to have some budget cuts and save some money, so they were low on the total number of xenomorphs. They were low on the shots of the xenomorph. It was a lot of like people getting pulled off screen and dying, and they're like ah.
Yeah.
There were still like a solid amount of deaths, and there were again a couple cool scenes to make it worth a watch, and to see the continuation of Ripley's story.
Yeah.
Because Ripley is fascinating to follow and see how she deals with this and trying to explain the aliens to people again and again.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, you're crazy. I'm like
bro.
she's seen so many.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, it will probably not be in my repertoire of rewatching alien movies in the future. I think I might skip to. I got to see Resurrection first, but
yeah, you got to see Resurrection.
I might just skip right to Prometheus because I still freaking love that one.
Yeah, I really liked it too. I've only seen it the once, and then I don't remember if I saw Covenant.
Yeah, you should watch it again before Romulus comes out.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough one, right?
I would say it's a keeper because it really doesn't do anything to make it not warrant a watch. It's just not great in any regard.
Not great.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that wants to say it's a sleeper because I'll wait till your review of Resurrection. Resurrection's just a ride. You're like, what is happening here?
I have heard from numerous people that Resurrection is like all over the place in both the best and worst way.
Yeah, it's one of those like, I don't even know what I could compare it to, but it's just one of those like, you're watching it just amazed that they made the decisions they made.
Yeah.
And just odd. It doesn't feel like the same universe almost.
Mm-hmm. Which I don't know if anybody prolific did Resurrection.
Dude, that's your word of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Prolific.
Man. Alien.
Brought to you by Tim.
No, I write Oleum.
Prolificolium?
No, I wrote Oleon. I was trying to write Alien.
Oh.
Jean-Pierre Jeunet.
No idea.
He did A Very Long Engagement.
Okay.
Oh, no, he's not even directing any of these. I think Alien Resurrection was the only thing he
First
directed.
and last. They were like, nice try, buddy.
It said he was a voice something.
Yeah.
Voice casting for other things.
Okay.
Anywho, he tried.
He did try.
He did try.
So yeah, there's a part of me that's like, you could watch Aliens, and then jump to Prometheus. Mm-hmm. But then a lot of people don't like Prometheus, which I think is crazy town.
Yeah, I don't know what the dislike for that is.
I don't either.
That one's a crazy good time.
I loved it. But I'm excited to hear what you think of Resurrection.
Yes.
You're saying Alien 3 is a keeper. worth the watch because it's not awful.
Right. Sleeper.
not great.
Yeah, Sleeper is usually something that I find not worth watching.
Like, don't even watch it at all. Right. Yeah, that's fair. I would say there's merit in it. Like, when I was like, okay, I need to have seen all the Alien movies, I wasn't like mad when I watched that. I was just like, oh, it's a drag in that a franchise that goes from Alien to Aliens.
Yes.
And then it's kind of like, meh,
right.
It's a bummer. Like, that's a bummer. But it's not like the worst movie ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. You nailed it.
I mean, you know, I'm kind of just repeating what you said.
But it's okay. You're keeping the flow.
Whatever, dude.
Aliens is also a super keeper. That one is any cut, any version of that. It is just it's peak sci-fi.
Good. It really is, yeah.
It's not my favorite sci-fi movie, but it's definitely up there.
Me neither. You know, that is a movie that freaked me out a lot as a kid. Specifically because of the android. There's an android that sort of gets gets dismembered in a way that really, and the effects they use really threw me as a kid. I did not. It just messed with me so much, and I don't think I understood the concept of an android.
Yeah.
So I was like, "What am I looking at?
Where's all this milk coming from?"
It wasn't even like seriously, it wasn't even like the alien, like the queen or anything like that. It was that part, and I was like,
because it is pretty like visceral. It is very, like it's chunky, even though it's like robotic parts and stuff. Yeah, it looks like just change the milk to blood. And it absolutely, you would have thought someone's getting destroyed.
And the practical effects they use to show the face while it's happening.
Yeah.
I just remember that mess with me. Like, it's burned into my brain where I was, what couch I was sitting on. I was at a friend's house. It was just like totally.
But that's movie magic.
That's movie magic.
That's the cinema.
That's good stuff.
And to continue our cinema talk.
Please do.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
I decided to pop it on one night because I couldn't fall asleep. And I was like, I'll just throw this on. Maybe I'll fall asleep to it. Kept me up all night.
Tim's never seen Happy Gilmore.
No, not to the point where I remember any of it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was good.
Okay.
It didn't live up to the hype that I think you built it up to be. I felt very like tame for an Adam Sandler movie.
How do you mean?
Like, I feel like it didn't he didn't do any crazy exaggerated voice. He was just playing like a really angry guy.
Yeah. His movies aren't all voices.
No, I know, but like it just didn't feel like it had the Adam Sandler charm that I'm used to.
Dude, Happy Gilmore is the Adam Sandler charm. That's peak Adam Sandler charm.
It had some good funny moments. I'm gonna spoil it right now. I give it a keeper. It's a keeper.
Okay.
I just wasn't like wowed by it.
You didn't laugh?
There were some.
Dude, that movie is riddled with one-liners.
Yeah, but I don't stick with one-liners for movies.
Memorable moments.
Yeah.
Dude. When he smashes the bottle, he's going to fight Shooter.
Yeah.
Then Virginia Vennick comes in and she's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I was just looking for the other half of this bottle. Oh, there's some. Oh, there's some of it right there." And she's like, "Why don't you just put it down?" And he goes, "I know." And then he puts it down.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you laugh?
Not really.
Go to your home.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you laugh?
No.
You don't want breakfast? That doesn't make you laugh? No. Mista.
I felt bad for the old professional golfer guy who was trying to train him.
Shooter? Yeah. Carl Weathers.
Yeah. He just kept trying, and Adam Sandler was like, "Get out of here! Like, I don't want you here." And he's like, "Let me teach you." And he's like, I did find Ben Stiller's character to be very funny.
So funny.
I thought that
you're
made
in my world now, Grandma.
Yeah, it's like
read the name tag.
He's having them all like knit for. That was funny.
This is handmade quality stuff we're talking about here,
dude. That was funny. But I found Waterboy to be better. I liked Waterboy better overall.
You're allowed to. How did you feel watching it? Like, did you enjoy it?
Yeah. I was waiting. I was looking for the magic that you see in it, but I never saw it.
It's not just me.
And I believe you. But it just didn't hit me as hard as I expected. I thought I would be like dying on the floor laughing.
Dude, it's the best.
And I don't know, just the jokes that came out were like good, but I wasn't like.
Is that how you laugh?
But yeah, the story was fun. It was I liked it was pretty down to earth overall.
Yeah.
He's just got to play some golf, even though his heart belongs with hockey. And now I get. You said you wanted a sequel. They're actually doing a sequel.
Yeah.
Now I could see him doing
The hockey thing.
Yeah, that makes
I don't know
more
if they
sense.
could, but it would be pretty funny. And if he breaks the 2 records that he says he holds as a hockey player. Yeah, I definitely have a lot of nostalgia attached to that movie, but I also think it is absolutely excellent.
Yeah.
What was the
I
last?
thought it was good.
Have you seen Billy Madison?
No.
Okay. I need you to
next.
watch that next
Yeah.
for sure. I'm very curious how
That one
that
I
will
think
hit
I'll
you.
like the most. I
That-
remember that one pretty good, and it's got.
You do?
I remember the jokes being pretty fun.
Okay,
Even as a
because
kid, I liked the
That
jokes.
one's very over the top
Yeah.
goofy. So I think that one might hit you more. This one, yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Happy Gilmore's great.
Yeah.
You're underselling how good it is, but whatever.
it's okay. It's a lesson in knowing what kind of movies work for you and which ones don't.
Where do you put that with Tommy Boy? Which one did you like better?
Tommy Boy.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like Tommy Boy better.
Yeah. Gosh, I love Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy was good.
Maybe I'll watch that tonight.
Tommy Boy, dude, you can't watch anything.
No, I'm
you
gonna
gotta
fall
go.
asleep.
You gotta go right to bed.
I know I do.
Oh, okay. One more quick movie I got to talk about because this is just a recommendation for people who love like crazy creature design.
Ooh.
I watched Arcadian,
I don't know what that is.
one with Nicolas Cage. It's the end of the world, and Nicolas Cage has 2 teenage sons.
Oh my gosh.
And they're trying to survive from the monsters, the creatures.
That sounds cool.
And the movie itself is fine. It pretty much just follows like a simple formula of
Okay.
like end of the world stuff. It was nothing new.
Yeah.
However, the
However.
creatures
Yeah.
are amazing.
Really?
They're terrifying.
Interesting.
They keep doing things like as they show up in the movie more and more that I'm like, they can do that? Oh my God, they do that. What the hell is that? Like it is constantly changing what I think these creatures are, and it's creepy.
That's cool.
So that's definitely the highlight. Again, the story, you can take it or leave it. It's nothing special. Nicolas Cage he does pretty good. He's not in it a ton, but I think he's like the star to get people in there. It's more about the teenage sons.
He's done a few movies like that where he's billed, but
Yeah.
he's in it for like 12 minutes.
Right, he's
Yeah.
just like shows up and his character, I mean, is pretty prominent throughout the movie, but he's just like not in it as much because again, you follow the boys a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would strictly recommend it just on monsters if you like cool creature designs and like creepy moments.
I'm sold.
But again, the story, like, don't expect anything crazy. There's some cool effects. Yeah, but it's pretty short. I think it was like an hour and a half, a little bit more.
Cool.
But yeah, it's on Amazon Prime.
On Prime? All right.
Yeah,
And what's it called again?
Arcadian.
Arcadian.
Yeah, it's a cool name.
That is cool.
But yeah, the creatures, they were awesome.
Dude, I was served at Starbucks the other day.
By a monster.
She could have been. No, by a lovely young lady
Yes.
named Acadia.
Oh,
I was like, what a cool name.
that is a cool name.
And I almost told her, but I feel like it's awkward because you don't name yourself.
Still though.
So to be like, oh, that's such a pretty name.
It's it's funny because like when people are like tall or whatever, it's like people are like, oh, that's cool that you're tall. It's like, well, I didn't choose.
They're
to
like,
be
yeah,
this.
I didn't. You know,
It's just me.
I work on it every day. I just go,
I just stretch as far as I can.
but I still was able to get it out because Rach and the kids were in the car, and I was like, she literally like handed me one coffee and
Yeah.
went back in. The window closed, and I was like, her name's Acadia, and Rach was like, who? And I was like, the girl who gave us the coffee, and all three of them were like, that's a cool name.
I'm glad it all connected with her.
Yeah. So I don't know if she was a monster, but Arcadian sounds like a good movie.
Yeah. Yeah,
Good
maybe she's
creatures.
in it. That would be a crazy connection.
Wow.
But that's where I'll call it in movies.
Okay.
Let's go into video games.
Yeah.
Video games.
Here we are. Here she comes to wreck the day.
Why is she wrecking the day?
Have you've seen Liar Liar?
Yes.
Mother balls.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's you gotta watch. It's on Netflix.
Liar. Wait. No. I've seen Yes Man.
They're very similar.
They
but
are very similar.
Liar Liar is better.
I'll have to watch that one too.
The pen is blue.
You okay there?
Yeah. So what are we doing in video games?
I have an ever-growing list of video games. I just got to talk about a couple things.
Let's go. I'm ready, dude.
Alone in the Dark.
Oh,
2024.
yeah.
The new reimagining.
Bro, I feel like they've been trying to give us a good Alone in the Dark for 47 years.
Their Alone in the Dark is a dead franchise.
Yeah.
We've had bad movies. We've had bad games. I want it to be good. I liked the 2007, 2008 one.
The 360 one?
Yeah, the guy with the jacket, and you open it up and you pull out the stuff.
Yeah.
You played that one, right?
I played a part of it,
Yeah.
but I think something happened where...
Glitch or...
Yeah, I couldn't finish it for some reason.
It's a broken mess, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm nostalgic for it, but I think if I revisited it, I'm going to be like, this is awful.
That would be my guess.
Yeah.
A quick, in case anyone who doesn't know, Alone in the Dark first came out as a computer game, like way back in the day.
Yep.
Do you know when? Was it early 90s, late 80s?
Yeah, it was one of the first survival horror games.
right.
Before Resident Evil.
Very early.
Because there was Alone in the Dark, and then I think Alone in the Dark, A New Nightmare, and that came out on Dreamcast and PS1.
Oh.
But yeah, there was a really older one before that. Well, not really, but older.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's the best way to put it. I just want to emphasize how much old, because I forget about it. Because Resident Evil is often touted as like the godfather of survival horror, but really Alone in the Dark was earlier.
Yep.
And it just has never really been able to have a revival.
Yeah, the first game again was like pretty impressive at the time. Took the horror genre of video games and kind of made it blow up more. But yeah, it is never since then has never done anything like outstanding.
Right.
I would say people remember A New Nightmare, A New Beginning, whatever that one's called. I haven't played it myself, so I don't even know if it's good. But people tend to remember that one fondly.
Okay.
But yeah, anything else has just been like.
Yeah.
And this 2024 game,
I've heard a lot of buildup about.
yes, David Harbour plays one of the main
Right.
characters. It's David Harbour, and I didn't recognize the other girl, but I guess she's also famous.
I don't remember. I'll look it up.
Yeah, look it up. So yeah, this game was published by THQ, which if you don't know, THQ has been pretty
Dark
well.
Souls?
No, THQ has been well known for their movie franchises. They've done everything.
Oh, not Dark Souls. No, sorry.
No, Dark Souls was fun.
No,
Darksiders?
So off.
Is that what you were thinking? Darksiders? Because they did that.
Maybe that's what I was thinking.
The one with war and then death was the
Yeah,
second
yeah.
game.
Okay.
They did that. But yeah, THQ, usually they do like budget titles.
Because From Software is
yes.
Dark Souls,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, okay.
See, Brett knows things. But yeah, Alone in the Dark, so they got the license to it, and they were, like Brett said, they were kind of hyping this game up to be like the next evolution in horror.
Yeah.
And good Lord, it's bad.
Oh, that sucks.
It's so bad. I couldn't even finish it. I dropped it. I gave it 3.5 hours, and I couldn't do it anymore.
I need you guys to understand that is nothing in Tim video game time. 3 hours to give up fully is nothing.
Because there was just nothing there.
Really?
I think the one I'll start with the positive. The one positive is I like how they kind of incorporated. So you're in this like asylum. And your character's running around, like, going to different, like, dark fantasies that other people in the asylum are having.
Okay.
And so you're going and, like, fighting monsters and stuff. But essentially, you are stuck in this asylum, and it's, like, just a big puzzle. So you'll, like, go through one of the dark fantasies, and you'll get, like, a key, and the key will unlock a door in the main mansion, or the main asylum.
Okay.
And then there are puzzles that you have to go back to earlier rooms to solve, and then the new room will lead you to other puzzles. So it's, like...
Well, it sounds pretty cool.
That's fun and cool in concept, but all of the puzzles were the same. They all eventually were these like little twisty puzzles where you had to line up the pieces, or one of those ones where you move and slide the square pieces around and stuff. So the puzzles were very unimaginative.
Okay.
It was cool how they were structured, terrible execution. Gameplay was like a poor man's Silent Hill. You would get melee weapons and guns. Guns were terrible. The enemies, there were, for my 3.5 hours of playtime, I saw 2 enemies.
Oof.
Two variants of enemies. There was one that would like shoot things at you, and another one that would run up towards you. And then there was like this underground one, but you couldn't hit it. So I was like, okay, see you later. You just ran from it. But yeah, there was very little enemy variation. The scares were non-existent. It was just a very poor man's Silent Hill at best. David Harbour, I felt like his lines were just phoned in. They just gave him a fat check, and he was just like, "Oh, I'll just read these over the phone." Like,
that
he just
sucks.
didn't feel like he cared. Who was the woman? Did you recognize her?
Jodie Comer, who she was, I may be mispronouncing her name, but I believe that's how you say it. She was in, she's in that movie, The Bike Riders.
Never heard of it.
That's a recent one. Let's see. Killing Eve.
Oh, she was in The Last Duel?
The Last Duel.
Okay.
Free Guy. She was in Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
She's been in stuff.
Yeah, she didn't really like jump out at me, but maybe I'll, I didn't play as her. So you do have the choice to play as David Harbour or her.
Oh, you do?
They want you to play the game twice because
And you didn't even get through it once.
No, like
Wait, is this
Resident
movie
Evil
out?
Bike Riders? I've never even heard of it.
You haven't seen this trailer
Uh-uh.
for the Bike Riders with Tom Hardy?
No.
Dude, it looks so good.
Is it like a thriller?
No, it's
Horror?
no. It's a drama, but it's about like bike clubs essentially. and
Oh, cool.
This looks like a lot of dudes fighting each other.
I like it. I'm in.
Looks pretty fun.
But yeah, Alone in the Dark at the end of the day is just a dumpster fire.
That is such a bummer. Such a bummer. But I guess it's one thing you can take off your list.
Exactly. If you had it on your list, total sleeper.
Sounds like a sleeper to me.
not worth the time.
I can't believe you couldn't get through it.
Yeah, well, I gameflied it, so I thankfully had an out, and I didn't spend real money on it.
If you had purchased it, you think you would have?
I think I would have. I would have. I would have taken it in like small sips. I would have played an hour. But
Thrown up,
right?
back.
Yeah, exactly. Got sick constantly. There's just nothing redeeming about it.
I'm bummed, man. I thought this was going to be it for them, but it sounds like nah.
Nope, and I don't think it did well either. So, Alone in the Dark's going back in the dark for a while.
Yikers! See you next time.
But I'm glad to play it so I can tell you guys not to.
Right.
This has been on the list for a long time. Have you seen that Fortnite now has a setting where you can block certain emotes so people don't feel bad?
People don't feel bad. What does that mean?
So if you're playing, there are griefing emotes. There are emotes that are specifically like
the laughing emotes.
Yeah,
and
laughing
stuff.
emotes or ones that are well known for like being toxic.
Yes,
essentially.
yeah.
So there's a setting now where you can turn on no griefing emotes. So like if someone kills you and does the emote, their character just sits there. And you don't see them actively emoting whatever griefing emote it is.
That's very interesting. So griefing being essentially like celebrating your death.
Yeah,
right?
like doing it in
Just
a
for anyone
toxic
who doesn't
way.
know that.
Yeah.
There's a common thing in especially like battle royale games where if you win, if you lose, you're watching the person who won.
Yeah.
Like you're immediately spectating them. And in Fortnite and many other games, you can do an emote. And there are ones specifically in Fortnite. There's the laughing one. I'm trying to think of what else there is.
I couldn't think of any off the top of my head. Like
That's a big one. It's like a laughing and pointing.
Yeah.
But it's basically just to be like, haha, I killed you.
Yeah, it's like you got wasted.
So that's really interesting. How do you feel about that?
It's whatever. I grew up in the age of like Call of Duty and Halo, so like I got teabagged every time I got killed. If you don't know what that is, that's when a character crouches on your body when they kill you.
Over and over and over again. And yeah, we just made our own emotes back then.
Oh yeah, you just like you would shoot around them, you would stick a grenade on them if it was Halo. Like,
Yep.
So I mean, griefing is part of the process of gaming. You know,
Oh, go ahead.
it just seems like I guess if you're if that offends you, turn it on. It
Yeah.
doesn't like I'm not going to turn it on. I don't care.
No, I mean, having the option, I guess, is cool, but there are still pretty much any emote is a celebration. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right.
But I guess if someone does that one specifically,
Yeah, I don't know what the list was or. Yeah, because they didn't want to remove the emotes because that would cause more controversy if people
my
paid
gosh.
money for
Plus,
one.
bro, do you know how much money they make on emotes?
Oh yeah. Well, they wouldn't remove the emotes. Certain ones that cause people to be like,
Oh, yeah,
mad.
yeah, right. You couldn't.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that. People own them.
So yeah, it was just a little controversial because a lot of people, of course, were like, "Oh, is everyone too sensitive now? Or the babies cry and play?" And it's like,
Let me see.
the thing is, if it doesn't bother me, like it's not removing my experience from the game. I don't care if they throw it in. Do I think it's dumb? A little bit, but I'm not gonna be mad at my friends if they turn it on because they don't
Yeah.
want to feel bad playing this game that they're having fun with.
I would say that's a little bit, if someone was like, what are some changes that have happened in media that you think like are indicative of people being a little too sensitive? That one might make the list. But it's like you still lose. Like
Yeah.
you still it doesn't change the game really at
Yeah.
all. So if that makes maybe to your point, if that makes them they're having more fun or continuing to have fun and that makes you feel better, it's not going to affect me one way or the other.
Right.
But it is funny that I wonder what the catalyst was for them.
Yeah, I wonder.
Like, were they losing players based on?
I think there was like a general consensus of like, because there's certain skins that are considered like sweaty skins.
Yeah.
And there are certain emotes that people are like, oh, it's the equivalent of like doing a GG. Like sometimes if you do a GG, like good game, people are like, oh, they're being smug
It
about
actually
it.
means the opposite.
Yeah, there was what was it? I think it was one of the MOBA games, League of Legends or whatever. GG was essentially like a middle finger to the other team, you know?
Rocket League's like that.
Oh yeah, where they do
Nice
nice
save.
play. Yeah, nice
Yep.
save.
Is when you completely miss the ball and you get scored on.
People get so toxic.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
What's the other one? Nice shot.
Yeah.
I think is when you block it. There's a couple that are like
When you get it in your own goal or something.
Yeah, when you get in your own goal, nice shot.
Nice shot.
And Jazz will say it. He'll be playing, and he'll be like, "I'm gonna be so toxic to this dude," and I'll be like, "All right, well, like, don't. If he crushes you afterwards, you have to just eat that loss. So if you want to do it, you can.
Go for it.
But yeah, it's just funny. It's such a weird like these
Evolution
weird things.
of gaming.
Yeah, and just like the subculture of even skins being considered like. It's funny because I know what sweaty means.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to describe what it means anymore because I'm so used to using that term.
Sweaty as like...
I mean, it just means someone who plays the game a ton and is good at it and is basically showboating by wearing that skin. Like,
yeah, exactly. I mean, the origin of it is people were playing games, so they're saying they're like playing the game so aggressively that they start sweating in real life.
Right.
And so it's a way to say like, oh, you're being a sweat right now, or you're being sweaty.
Yeah.
And it means you're just trying really hard.
Yeah,
because
like,
before it was a try hard. That was the equivalent.
Right.
But yeah, so it is. But like the sweat skins, it doesn't make you any better or worse. It's not like it's a skin that makes you better.
Right.
It's just one that like you bought early on. And I guess people will say like the earlier skins are sweat skins because you're like you've been playing it for a long time. So but yeah, again, I grew up in the Call of Duty Halo era where the other thing, and it's a conversation that people are talking about right now, is party chat. But not party chat, proximity chat, where games are essentially removing them because of the terrible things people are saying to each other.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm kind of for that. I don't think I've ever been as frustrated as and it's never even, I mean, it hasn't really happened to me. I mean, I'm sure it has in the past, like playing Call of Duty and stuff. People would say really terrible things, but the videos that have emerged of people being blatantly racist and sexist online is so, like, I follow a couple of girl gamers who specifically make content out of dudes being like
the worst,
overtly toxic. And it's like the videos, they're so good that like they come out on top on the match. And
that's always the best.
It's the best, but the dudes they're rarely humbled. They just keep talking. They just keep talking like the dumbest, most ignorant stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like satisfying to watch them lose, but it still doesn't they still don't shut up.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's so frustrating.
It's sad that they still are like that at all.
Yeah.
That these gamer girls have to make content, or not have to, but that there's enough bad men out there who's making them feel uncomfortable and being so aggressive that they can make content out of it.
And these are, they're full-time streamers, so they know by the end of the week they'll have enough content to post a new video.
Yep.
And it's like, it's just so frustrating to watch that there's that much of it going on. So it's like, I guess now that I'm saying it, the thing that would bum me out the most about that kind of thing being turned off is I wouldn't want to take content away from those creators. But it's just, it really drives me crazy that there's nothing to stop you. There's no policing it.
No, there is. That's what the conversation is right now, because Valorant, one of the most popular games ever right now, has proximity chat. And it's one of the few games that still have it. Call of Duty had it for Warzone. But I think they removed it at some point, or are gonna remove it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, a lot of the other popular games don't have it at all.
Yeah.
Obviously Fortnite doesn't have it. And so it's one of those things where I think as time goes on, it's going to be less and less popular, and you're going to be playing more like indie games that will just throw it in there and be like, remember when this was a thing?
Yeah, right. That's true.
But yeah, it's another level of sensitivity, but also there are people who are completely unhinged. So that I totally get.
Yeah, I mean, what is the point of it?
Proximity chat?
Yeah. I get it for your team.
Yeah, back in the day, it was just a way to like another way to taunt and stuff.
Yeah.
But it also was like sometimes an advantage. Like you would hear another team talking.
Yes, I have had that happen.
So-
Sea of Thieves also has
Oh
it.
yeah, Sea
Yep.
of Thieves. So there are like cool. It's a cool thing to have when people are doing it. 90% of the time, people don't even have a mic plugged in.
Yeah, right,
Or
right,
they're
right.
in a party chat with their friends, so it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. But when it happens, it can be fun or awful.
Yeah, it really depends. Yeah, it's a bummer. One of those kind of things where like the few can ruin it for the all.
Yes.
Like, the people
Yeah.
who really enjoy proximity chat and don't use it to be belligerent D-bags. It sucks that they'll have it taken away, for this reason.
Right.
But,
For those who really enjoy doing it.
Right, right, right.
Like when I used to do it, I would blare Sonic music.
felt like I knew that was coming, but I didn't know how.
Right, how
I
it
couldn't
would
figure out.
would eventually do it, but
That's pretty good.
yeah, that's I would still do that nowadays.
Yeah, totally.
Is just have Sonic music going nuts.
That's a great use of it.
I'll talk about one more thing, and then I got one more category after.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I have, a million things, but we will talk
Oh,
about. Okay. Is that right there?
Huh?
I recently played Contra, Operation Galuga.
What the heck is that?
It is the newest Contra game, which is, first of all, crazy because Konami...
I didn't even know there was one.
Yeah, it came out a month ago.
PlayStation or?
Yeah, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch,
Wow.
PC. It is just essentially the newest Contra game. The developer, so it was part Konami, part Way Forward.
Okay.
Which Way Forward is working on the scissor guy.
Clock Tower?
Yeah, there's a new Clock
No
Tower.
way.
Well, I'll back that up. There's a remake of Clock Tower coming out.
No way.
And they're re-releasing the original
Ooh.
in a physical, I'll just show you, limited run, of course, physical copy that has a lot of cool stuff.
That's cool.
So first they're releasing the original, and then they're doing a remake.
That's sick.
So Way Forward is the company, and they did Shantae.
Shantae's
they've
fun.
done a lot of stuff. Way Forward's awesome. They did Windjammers.
Oh.
Yeah. So Way Forward's
Love Windjammers.
pretty dope.
Yeah, that's
they
cool.
know what they're doing. So they did this Contra. They did this.
This.
It is Contra both at its best and at its worst.
What does that mean?
They, for every cool thing that's very Contra-like,
Yep.
it does like a modern thing that makes it not feel like Contra.
Like what?
Like, dude, this game is a trip. So I will say, the gameplay is very Contra-like. It is very much.
Okay.
It feels like original Contra.
Just
Exactly. You aim and shoot in all directions. You're climbing on things. You're getting weapon upgrades and stuff.
Okay.
Which is cool.
Cool monsters?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool monsters to a degree. And this is where the modern stuff starts coming into play.
Okay.
They very much focus on there's a story. And to a degree that could be cool.
Yeah.
But Contra, you don't really play for the story.
No, you don't.
So there are times where you're sitting through, no joke, a 7-minute cutscene of characters just like talking and things happening. And for a game that is only like an hour and a half, 7 minutes of your playtime being stuck to, at least 7 minutes stuck to a cutscene, I'm like, oh,
Brother,
get me out of here.
That's crazy.
So yeah, it does like they try to do a story and they try, but it just doesn't really land. Graphics are, I would say, very much similar to like Neo Contra,
Which is PS2.
which is PS2.
Yeah. Why is that? That's so funny.
I gotta assume that Konami didn't put a huge budget for it.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. I don't understand why Konami won't. Whatever.
Yeah, won't do anything. And it's crazy because Way Forward, as you've seen with their art with Shantae and Windjammers, like they're awesome at doing really awesome, artistically cool. Like even the cover for the game's dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't do a lot of 3D games. And so this game's a 2D side scroller, but with a 3D art.
This looks like an Xbox arcade game.
Yes, and that's essentially what it is. It is a glorified. It's $30. I would say at most pay 10 to 15. Definitely have that because the game is very short. There is a crazy amount of replayability that they want you to do to like get new characters, to get new weapons, to get all these things. I'm sorry, it's $40.
$40.
Oh,
yeah.
even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, $15 game at best. It would have been great on the Xbox Arcade back in the day, like a downloadable game like that.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but yeah,
Disgusting,
it is
Timothy.
I'm so gassy. But yeah, what's there, and it feels like Contra. I think that's what's important. Is it definitely has that gameplay that Contra is known for.
Yeah.
And that's cool. Not $40 cool.
Yeah.
Not worth the cutscenes for the story mode. But I think if you and I got together and like crushed through it like in 2 hours, yeah, it would be fun to play. And I think that's what you need is a buddy and it on sale for it to be really good. Because everything else that's there feels kind of lackluster.
Yeah, $40 feels wild.
Yeah, I got it for free. Also, let me throw that out there. I was
Nice.
provided a code, so but I'm telling the truth about the game.
Oh,
That's all I
I'm
ever do.
Tim. I'm a professional creator.
I'm a professional creator.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, so it is something that, again, if you, not a sponsor or anything, I'll be clear about that. I played this game like a month ago, so just to say they're not paying me to say anything on that.
Yeah.
If you want to get it, have a friend. Expect it to be 2 hours. It does have some bonus modes where it's like you can play arcade mode or story mode. Arcade mode you have lives. Story mode is unlimited lives.
Okay.
There are again cool upgrades. There's some pretty cool characters you get after beating it. But again, you have to play the story mode I think like 3 or 4 times to get enough money to buy one of the characters.
Oof.
Arcade mode might give you more points, but it wants you to play a lot. So hopefully they'll do an update where you get more points for stuff. Because I played through it twice for achievements, and I'm like, I'm done.
All set. Yeah, it sounds like they're banking a lot on that being worth the $40.
Yeah, on the Contra name, and you know, Konami I think is still slowly like gaining trust again. But everything they've been putting out has been pretty not great.
Yeah.
The Silent Hill stuff, they had that Silent Hill app, whatever that was called, Ascension or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they had that short.
The short message?
Yeah, short message. And that was okay.
Yeah.
But from what we've seen from Konami in the past, it is just all kind of lackluster. So, I'm excited to see what's coming out next because there is a Silent Hill presentation happening tomorrow.
I saw that.
Yeah. So I'm excited to watch that.
When is it? Do you know?
Tomorrow at 4? No. For us, it'll be at 6.
6. All right.
6 or 7.
Should be home in time to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very curious. Why are they having another one?
Because there's more games. They got to do the next update. I think it was a year since the last one.
I think so. That sounds right.
So yeah, they're doing a PlayStation State of Play. They're doing the Silent Hill thing. They're doing a Marvelous, which they did like No More Heroes and other games. So there's a bunch of shows because we're getting to like E3 season.
Right.
Summer Game Fest is June 7th, I think.
Wow.
So we're gonna get a lot of cool announcements coming up.
That's cool. It's exciting.
But yeah, Contra. So sleeper or keeper is the real question.
Yeah.
Because the gameplay is Contra, and I like Contra.
Yeah.
So right there, it's a keeper. But for the $40 price tag, for the other things being very just like okay at best, I think the price tag is what makes me want to say sleeper.
But here's the thing: if it's just like you don't have to base it on how one acquires the game, just should it be on your list to play at some point if you get the opportunity? Or is it like, take it off the list. If you go to a friend's house at some point and they have it, maybe you play it.
You can play it that. Yeah, because like comparatively to the last Contra game that came out, which was really bad, it is a step up. And because the last Contra game was Contra, what the heck was that called? Battle Core or something. I don't know.
Not Shattered Soldier, right?
No, not PS2. No, it was on the Switch and PlayStation 4.
Okay, yeah.
But no, so I would say...
Yikes, he's fighting for this one, guys.
Okay. If you're a fan of Contra, keeper.
Okay.
If you're not, sleeper.
Wow.
I think it's only good for the fans.
So it's a conditional keeper. I think that's fair.
Because I think if new people go and play it, it's still cool and it's still Contra.
Yeah.
But you got to play the other stuff, I think, for you to be able to swallow some of the stuff that's not great.
That makes sense. Like if this was just like a cold play, you've never, played
First
any of the
Contra
other
experience.
ones.
It wouldn't be a bad one, but it's not the ideal one.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I think that's fair. I think there's room for a conditional keeper in our rating system here.
Right? Let's just throw it in.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to get to food.
Food, okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
Delicious.
We haven't been at food in a minute.
Have we started? Oh, okay. I didn't see you press the button.
Oh, yeah, dude. I hit it. Tim's just taking a nap.
I know. So you have stuff in food if you want to talk about it.
I have a lot of stuff in food, actually.
I wanted to bring us here both for you and for me.
Oh, thanks for thinking of me, Tim.
So I'm ready to talk about my thing, but if you want to talk about a couple things, because I've been talking a lot.
I mean, I can rifle through these stories real quick.
Let's do it.
So listen, I drive a lot for my job. I end up in various states.
Yes.
I was in Vermont, and one of the stops I had to hit was basically the parking lot of this buffet.
That's
And
hot.
It had been a pretty long day, and I was like, you know what? I don't usually like stop for lunch. I usually just go as soon as I clock in. I'm like, I'm going. I don't stop. I was like, I'm pretty quick at a buffet. I'm going to stop in here and just...
Oh, who's pretty quick at a buffet?
Dude, I'm quick. How long does it take? You're by yourself?
I guess
Go up, you get your food.
You just serve yourself quickly.
That's it.
Yeah, I guess.
I literally can be in and out of a buffet in like 17 minutes.
Because you don't have to wait for anybody to cook things. You can make as many plates as you want. Okay.
The moment I walk in,
Yeah.
they give me my plate. I'm not talking to anybody.
Right.
This is not my first solo buffet visit.
It's pretty good.
Fortunately or unfortunately. So I go in and, I kind of scope out the buffet, and I'm like, all right, they got the stuff I want. Dumplings don't look great, but and that's usually what I'm there for.
Yeah. So you go to a buffet for a specific food.
Well, I always check for that first because there are other things I'll eat, but primarily I want lo mein.
Yeah.
I want dumplings, and those are like the primary things.
Because those are things you don't usually eat outside of buffets. Like,
Yeah.
You don't cook them too much on your own. So.
Well, and yeah, like I've had so many like chicken fingers in my life. I've had so many.
Do you think you're at the end of your chicken finger?
No,
Okay.
no.
Don't
They're
scare
just
me
they're
like
just
that.
a later plate.
Gotcha.
That's all. Because if I save lo mein for like plate 2 or 3, I'm stuffed. I can't eat enough. You know? So this is hands down the worst buffet I've ever been to in my life. It is some of the worst food I've ever had, and I could not believe every time I went up, it got worse.
What were you eating?
So, all right, I made this note a minute ago, but let me see if I can remember. So first I go up for the, what did I get? I got the lo mein.
Yeah.
And I got the dumplings.
Right.
And the dumplings were, you get different variety of dumplings. These weren't like the steamed ones. Those are probably my preferred. But I'm okay with a fried dumpling. These are the fried ones. Breading looked a little thick, whatever. Took a bite of it. It was definitely old. Like it all felt old.
What time did you get there? Do you remember?
Like 1?
Okay, so lunchtime.
Lunchtime,
Yeah.
Now, I have this may sound gross, but I got a little bit of grace for that. Maybe you got the tail end of before they switch over, whatever.
Sometimes it happens.
It's all good, you know. The dumplings tasted like they had like a sweetness to them, and it just threw me off. I didn't understand what I was tasting. I was like, all right, that's weird. So I'm like, you know what? I'll dip it in the dumpling sauce. The sauce tasted like strawberries.
What the heck?
Like one of the weirdest flavors I've ever tasted in a dark sauce. It made no sense to me. I could not understand what
Do you
was
think
happening.
they messed up or you messed up?
I don't
or-
know. I checked. I went back up to look at the sauce, and it wasn't labeled. But where it was, I'm like, this is the sauce for the dumpling.
It has to be.
And it made no sense to me. My brain was freaking out. I was like, all right, dumplings were a fail, whatever. So I had gotten some lo mein. I tried the lo mein, and it had it had no flavor, but also had like it was like, I guess sweet, like my tongue was
What is
feeling
with the
something, but
the
it had no
sweetness?
flavor, just like wet noodles. I was like, nah, bro, this ain't it. So I'm like, all right, lo mein's a bust.
Yeah.
So then I went up and I got the egg foo young.
Okay.
Right?
Which you're brave.
You're not, yeah. No, that's
Egg foo
fair.
young's usually not a big thing for me. but-
That's fair. I tried it when I was younger because it was my dad's favorite thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I don't usually get this, but I'll try it, whatever. So I got it. And oh no, I'm so sorry. Okay, the dumpling sauce was awful.
Yes.
But it tasted burnt.
Oh, burnt.
When I went up, I got the egg foo young and I got chicken wings, and I got the sweet and sour sauce.
Okay.
That tasted like strawberries.
That's weird.
And I know it's like, it's red, so it's like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe they messed it up, but it didn't actually taste like strawberry sauce, and it was the consistency of a sweet and sour. So the chicken itself was awful,
Yep.
and the sauce tasted like strawberries.
That's so
It
why.
was a nightmare. I don't know. The egg foo young was like slimy.
Oh my God.
It was, dude,
What is-
everything I bit, and then I got rice, and I
Yeah.
picked up the rice, and it was a big hard clump of rice.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
nothing was good.
Was it busy in there?
Pretty busy.
And they just had the worst
And
food?
every time I go there, because I'm
Yeah.
at this place almost every week for
Yeah.
this stop, there's people in there. And I
Do you think it's the only one for like miles?
gotta be.
only
Gotta be.
one
I mean,
around?
there's not a lot in that area.
Yeah.
Not a lot of stuff. Dude, I could not believe how bad it was.
That's
I kept because I'm
crazy.
relatively lenient. I'm like, all right,
Oh, yeah.
I paid for the buffet. It's gotta be something here I can eat a
Yep.
good amount of, you know. I tried like one of everything and I was like, I'm out. This is
God, nothing's worse than a bad lunch.
It was so bad. But on the other side of that,
Yeah.
so I won't out them, but that place is a sleeper.
Yeah.
On the other side of that,
Yep.
I had to stop the following week. I was running late. I meant to get out of the house at my job, I can leave and start my day whenever I want. And I meant to get out way earlier than I did, like hours earlier. So this one stop that I'm usually at like 9 a.m., I didn't get to till like 11:30. And I noticed this little stand in the corner of the parking lot that I was in, which is usually just there closed up, was open because I was there around lunchtime. And it's a hot dog cart.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot real
Yeah,
quick.
give it a shot. Why not?
Bro, this is the best hot dogs I've ever had.
The best?
And it was the best experience. So
Okay.
I didn't catch the dude's name, but it's called Wolfie's Links.
Okay.
And it's just this cart. I talked to the dude for a little bit, and because, you know, we have a history in vending, the
Yeah.
ice cream truck, and doing
Right.
those kinds of events. And I was like, how's it been? And he's like, dude, this has been my dream. Like, he's just had this dream to have this hot dog cart.
Yo, props to him for following his dream.
And he did it.
Yeah.
And he said it's been amazing. And, dude, is this phrase going to sound gross? You can taste the passion. It's so cool because he has the whole, you know, he's just got a board out front, right?
Yeah.
You can get, I think it's 4 different kind of hot dogs. You can get the like Frank's, the red snapper. Then there's, I think, a cheddar dog and a vegan dog.
Okay.
If you want a vegan dog.
What'd you go for?
I got the red snapper and the cheddar.
I was going to say you must
Had
have.
to. And no, I didn't get the red snapper. I got the regular dog and one cheddar dog. Then you can add any toppings you want.
Okay.
Right, so he's got onions that have been cooking all day, and he does, what did he call it? The something water method. Essentially, they're cooking slowly in the water all morning.
So like a boil, but
Yeah, but they're
Special.
like, yeah, it's a special kind.
you got to be
Special
there to
kind.
experience
Yeah, yeah. So everything's like mega fresh. He's got cooked onions. He's got just regular chopped onions. He's got peppers, jalapenos. You can get like a bunch of hots. You can get cheese. You can get anything you want on it. And the best part, I mean, that's probably the best part, but you can get a combo. It's $10. You get 2 hot dogs. You load them up. You
Yep.
get a bag of chips. You get fries, and you get a drink.
you
for
get chips
$10.
and fries?
Chips and fries.
What the heck?
Who doesn't want all those potatoes?
No, why not?
It was like the best lunch I've had.
Dude, those are
It
the
was
best kind of places
amazing.
where they're passionate about what they're making.
Yeah.
They give you a great deal. They
Yep.
got good food. It's like, and he's just like a little hot dog stand
Just
in the
this
middle
one
of
dude.
nowhere,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yep.
dude.
This one dude. And it's so good. I would literally, it was good enough. I would take a ride up there and like just to show you.
Yeah, just
to go there for the day.
Yeah.
It's like an hour and a half away or something, but
Dude,
I would totally go.
We should make a video. The Wolfie adventure.
That's actually a great idea.
Yeah, I think
We
it'd
should
be
do
fun.
that.
Do like a road trip.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, and then we can show them off to the world.
Yeah. Man, so
I'm
good.
down. Just let me know.
You would love it.
Yeah, I can't think of any like high profile hot dogs I've had in my life. I've had some good hot dogs.
Yeah.
But I never go to a restaurant and like get hot dogs.
So it's a thing I've been like doing more this year. Like
Getting hot dogs?
yeah, like
Yeah.
out if there's a place that has them and there's anything special about them, like they have a homemade chili they put on it or whatever.
Yeah.
I try it. And some places are just like
Just a hot dog.
it's just
like-
hot dogs, no
yeah.
big deal, whatever. Like the bun. Oh, that's the other thing. This dude, like the buns
Yeah.
are like slowly cooking and they're like buttered
steamed
and
and-
yeah, dude, they're perfect. Everything about it, everything you would want in a hot dog is like it's
There.
perfection. Dude knows hot dogs.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's funny because for the longest time I probably didn't either, but I love chili dogs and I just never think to look.
Yeah.
But like one thing I've realized is that and people are probably like, well, yeah, duh, but or maybe not, but a lot of seafood places have hot dogs.
Because I think it's like a summer thing to walk around with a hot dog.
Okay, maybe that's it. Like fish is a summer thing, so yeah. And maybe that's just mega New England to be like all the fish places,
Right.
I don't know, but
hot dogs.
But that's the thing that I've noticed,
And that's a smart thing because like I love to try French fries at different places. Like no matter what I'm getting, I always get fries. And hot dogs are pretty cheap. Like you can get a hot dog for like $3 or $4,
it's
or
very
sometimes even cheaper than that. So that's a smart thing to do.
The only thing is, I find that never mind.
Okay.
Hot dogs are excellent.
Hot dogs, yeah. I would say the only hot dog that I can think of, and you did the challenge too, right? The hot dog challenge we did.
Oh,
that was like probably the most like prolific hot dog adventure I've had.
that was your
There
third
it is.
prolific.
I'm
That's
gonna keep
amazing.
using it now.
We went to a restaurant. I don't even remember what it was. You remember?
It was. It's gone now.
It is.
They went out of business.
Game something.
The Arena.
The Arena.
Yeah.
It was like this big sports bar. It was almost similar to like a Buffalo Wild Wings, and they had a burger challenge and a hot dog challenge. Something about those hot dogs was like not right.
It didn't sit right with you. You had a rough time.
It's the only time that, sorry, trigger warning for anyone who this grosses out, but it was the only time I've eaten something and gotten sick like pretty close afterwards.
Yeah. So they were 4 half-pound hot dogs.
Yeah.
So they were big wieners.
Yeah. They were.
And he had a pound of fries.
Yeah.
So that was the challenge to have. It wasn't even like it's a lot of food.
It was a lot.
But the hot dogs, the flavor fatigue hits you hard.
Yeah, and you know how some hot dogs taste faker than others?
Yeah.
These ones tasted really off. Like,
Yeah, I liked them, but they weren't like.
maybe it was just too much. Maybe I'm wrong and it was just too much, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, but that was like the only time I can
was
think
not
of I've
cool.
had a pretty solid dog.
But Wolfie's,
Yeah. Wolfie's Links.
Wolfie's Links.
Dude,
We're going up there, dude.
Yeah, we got it now.
I'm taking you up there.
Since you hyped it up.
It's so good. What do you got? I have another thing, but I'll save it for later.
Okay. It's already come and gone at this point, unfortunately, but we wouldn't have been able to experience anyways.
Come on, dude.
I believe it was just California.
In the middle of the night.
No, New York.
New
Oh, we
York?
might have, Woodstock, New York. Cheez-Its
Uh-huh.
opened a pop-up diner
What?
with, I think, 6 or 7 different Cheez-It meals
Okay.
that you can order. So very similar to like Taco Bell, and they had their big like crazy show of all their foods.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna read you the list of some of the foods they had.
I'm ready.
Again, it's already come and gone. It was in New York. It was a pop up. This is what it looked like.
It's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, it's just like a cool. You guys probably can't see it, but squint and zoom in.
Yeah.
It was just like a diner essentially.
If you're listening, Google Cheez-It pop-up.
Yeah, Cheez-It pop-up restaurant. Because some of these are crazy. I think I'd eat it all, but
All right, yeah, let's hear it.
We'll start. I'll just read it in order. But deluxe Cheez-It milkshake.
Oh, that actually is okay. No, dude, I don't want a cheese milkshake at all.
Cheez-Its blended with creamy vanilla and a caramel and crushed Cheez-It cracker rim. This drink is then topped with whipped cream, sprinkles, and chocolate sauce. And it gets garnished with a chocolate dipped Cheez-It cracker. What's wrong with Cheez-Its?
Here's
are
the
they
thing.
doing over there?
Cheese goes well with some of those things.
Yeah.
But a cheese, that sounds awful.
A Cheez-It milkshake?
That sounds awful. All I can picture is drinking like canned cheese. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like the consistency
Yeah,
of a
they're
milkshake.
both dairy.
That sounds like a nightmare.
It's a weird thing.
Bro, I don't want cheese milk.
Yeah, it won't be the first thing I'd try, but I'd definitely try it.
All right.
The extra cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Pimento Cheez-It smash burger topped with lettuce, pickles, and an extra big Cheez-It cracker.
Yeah, that sounds great.
That sounds awesome,
That's
right?
like, that sounds like it has what I love about a crunch wrap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
that crunch into the soft, juicy bits.
Dude, all these are crazy.
right,
That
so
one,
that-
I haven't actually read what these are. I
Okay.
just read the names of
Ooh,
them.
this is exciting.
The big grilled cheese.
Okay.
Cracker-coated Texas toast filled with cheesy pimento goodness and surrounded by a crunchy Cheez-It cracker crust.
Yeah.
Dude, that's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. We should just make some of these.
We should. I hope they have the recipes somewhere.
Well, aren't you reading it?
Well, I mean, but I don't know if there's more to it than just what I'm reading.
Well, you
here.
got to cook it.
Shut up.
All right.
Cheesy Chicky Tendies. Juicy chicken tenders breaded in original Cheez-It crackers, or spice it up with hot and spicy seasoning and dip it in hot honey or Hidden Valley cheesy ranch.
We could do that pretty easy.
Yeah, you just get a cracker crust.
Yeah.
Mac and Cheez-Its. Pasta baked in creamy white cheddar Cheez-It cracker sauce with a crunchy white cheddar Cheez-It cracker crumble on top.
Okay, that I would do.
That would be really good.
I hate breadcrumbs
Yeah.
on mac and cheese, but I would take cracker
Cheez-Its?
crumbs. Yeah.
Dude. Also, the fact that I haven't even got, there's more than this.
But wait.
Cheez-It fries.
What do
Crispy
they do?
fries tossed in ground Cheez-It crackers. Choose from original white cheddar or hot and spicy seasoning and load it with a melted pimento cheese sauce. They really want the pimento cheese.
Yeah, they do. That sounds pretty good.
Cheez-It biscuit. Tasty layers bursting with Cheez-It crackers make up this hearty biscuit. Butter it with honey butter or drizzle it with hot honey. So it's just Cheez-Its and biscuits.
That's weird. All right. I mean, I guess I would try that.
And the final one on the list is sweet and salty cheesecake. Is it cheesecake? Is it pie? However you slice it, it's cheesecake dessert with
that's
a
another one,
Cheez-It
dude.
cracker pie crust topped with caramel and extra big Cheez-It crackers.
I want that about as much as I want the milkshake.
The desserts are like they're stretching. It's a big stretch.
I don't know about Cheez-Its and my sweets. That's weird.
So a couple other things that were at this diner that are worth mentioning.
Yeah.
The world's first and only jukebox, but instead of quarters, you use Cheez-Its. So you
Bro,
put
the inside of that machine must look like a nightmare. It's
just
terrible.
crushed up Cheez-Its in there. So that's really cool.
That's a cool idea. I
And
like
the
that.
only other thing is they had a Cheez-It bar. So you'd walk up with a Cheez-It cup, and they had all the Cheez-It flavors, like.
Just like M&M's.
Yeah, so you would go and hand them a cup and be like, "Give me a splash of white cheddar and
That
hot
rules.
and whatever." And so you just go up and get cups of that. So that is like a crazy cool event.
That is cool.
I both love and hate pop-up places.
Yeah, I know.
Because I want
know.
this to be, one, around me.
Yeah.
And two, available year-round so we can go.
Yeah.
Because there was also the Sonic pop-up cafe, the Sonic Cafe, that happened. First, it was in California, and then it came close to us. I think it was in New York, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just a bunch of Sonic-themed foods, just like that. And they have this like whole cool restaurant. But that's the thing with the pop-up is it only lasts like a weekend. Yeah.
Which seems wild. Like, I'm sure they make their money, but all the work that goes into something like
it's
that.
It's rarely any hype. It just shows up.
Shows up,
and then
yeah.
it's word of mouth. They're
It just
like,
pops up.
that was a good one.
Thanks.
But yeah, that sounds like a dream. And yeah, we should make some of those Cheez-It recipes.
Yeah. Like I would try. We could make the milkshake.
We definitely could.
I don't want to, but
Yeah.
we could.
We have everything for it. We can make it
Yeah.
right now. I don't want to know. No.
Maybe next week.
Yeah.
We got to go to Wolfie's. We got to make that milkshake.
We'll just do it all.
That might make me throw up. We have some great hot dogs, fantastic lunch, and then destroy it with a vanilla Cheez-It milkshake. Or maybe it's Boss. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
But that's all I got.
You know what?
Yeah.
I think we'll call it there.
Wow.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. As always, this has been episode number 288 of the Keep Up Podcast.
I have a couple ideas for 300 that I will shoot out to you, Brett.
He keeps saying that. I'm very afraid.
You should.
If you have not yet, please find us on all socials at the Keep Up Podcast. That is TikTok, Instagram. What's the other one? YouTube. We have a new K-pop reaction video coming out probably this weekend.
Cool.
And that is one of two that we have left to put out, and there will probably be more. Well, we'll see how this one goes, but there might be more. Patrons, thank you guys again. If you are interested in getting some extra bonuses, you can go to patreon.com/thekeepup.
I found a lost Keep Up Let's Play that we actually officially never posted.
No way.
So I'm going to post those to Patreon next month.
Who gets that? Anyone?
Anyone. Yeah. The $1 tier and up.
Okay, yeah,
That's
you
gonna
can
be-
subscribe starting at $1. That gets
Yep.
you bonus stuff on there.
So you're going to get a lost Let's Play and Brett doesn't know that these are never posted. It is probably one of our most iconic ones that no one's ever seen.
That's insane.
It's-
Like we reference it and it's
millions of times and it never came out.
This
It was on Cheddar Fingers and I uploaded it all and never made them public.
oh my gosh. How many episodes?
It was 4. It was 4 episodes. So I think I don't know if we decided to not do Cheddar Fingers because I don't think it was because I forgot to make them public.
Sure, it
I think
wasn't.
it was just we never posted it or made it public.
That's a funny, yeah.
But I was looking at Cheddar Fingers the other day, and I saw them all in private. I'm like, we never posted these. So I'm just going to post it all to Patreon just as a fun bonus for you guys next month.
Well, I'm very curious what those are. A lot of you guys probably don't even know. We had a sister channel at one point called Cheddar Fingers, but we realized we were barely keeping up with the Keep Up page, so we didn't do that offshoot
It still exists, and we have a good chunk of Let's Plays out there on it, but nothing too crazy.
I would love to do more and have like an exclusive Let's Play channel, but or gaming channel, I should say.
Yeah.
But we're not there yet.
Nope.
But that's great. So for $1 a month on the Patreon, you get some bonuses over there, ways to interact with us. And then at other tiers, you can get our monthly bonus podcast, The Keep Up in Cricket City. You get 2 bonus videos per month. You can get a phone number to call us, leave reviews. If you guys have access to that tier and haven't yet, you should totally give us a call so we can play some voicemails on the podcast.
Yes, please.
But yeah, sounds like there's some good stuff coming regardless of what tier you're at. Tim, tell everybody where they can find you and all your other work.
You guys can find me at Collection Revolution all over the place. That's on TikTok, that's on Twitter, that's on Instagram, that's on YouTube, that's on Twitch. I recently have made it into the top 50 of the Creator Royale, which is a big competition for creators to make a bunch of content and then they get reviewed on their quality. So if you want to see my adventures through that, feel free to check it out.
His ascension.
So there was 559 people who entered. And I'm in the top 50 right now.
559?
Yep.
That's amazing,
So I made a top 100, which I did not think I was going to make at all. And then just recently I got top 50. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm doing all right.
That is so cool, actually.
So my next video is next week for that. Because there's a video basically you put out every week, and there's a certain prompt, and then you make the video, and then you get ranked on.
Is there anything we can do to, like, help you win?
Hype it up. Just there's I won't get any more points or anything, but just general visibility. The next, if I make it to the top 20, I think is after the 50.
Yeah.
Like shares, all that stuff is very helpful. Just general like popularity from it. The one I'm about to do, it doesn't matter, but hype's always nice. So.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah, so it's really fun. Just to even say I made the top 50 is wild.
That's huge.
But yeah, feel free to follow me, Collection Revolution, all over the place. I'll be posting my next video on that. But Brett,
Wyatt,
I'm not the only one who's got exciting stuff coming out. I think you, Mr. Animatronic the Abolisher, has some cool things coming out. Brett, where can everybody find you and the things you're doing?
That's true. You can find me on Instagram at This Drink I Like It. That's my personal Instagram. You can find like pictures of me wearing tiger shirts and stuff. There's also a link tree there that will link you to all my other projects. Namely, Animatronic is my hip-hop project. I have new music coming out. If you want to go directly there, it sounds like ATA on all platforms. And I just put up a teaser for my first new single in a very long time. It's easily the best quality stuff I've ever done, like the visuals. I have new merch coming out for it.
Yeah, I heard Tupac came back from the dead just to hear it. Which is pretty sweet.
I don't know if it's that good.
Yeah, he said it. He posted it on Twitter, and he's like, going back to death.
Dude, Twitter, going back to death?
Yeah.
Oh, like he's out now. He's leaving. He came back, he heard it.
Right, he was just like,
I mean, the song's not even
back.
out yet, so there's some holes in this story.
But no, you gave him early access. When you're dead, you can get into a lot of places.
Right, okay. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can find me, Sounds Like ATA, if you want to look up my music stuff specifically. If you like the teaser, sharing it, pre-saving the single. The single is called Hubie. That'll be out in about 2 weeks, a little under that.
Bring your thermos.
And yeah, bring a thermos, baby. Keep it hot. I guess that's it. Tim's going to do what's called End Babble. Tim, your theme is... Spaghetti on Fire. You guys are the coolest. We love you. We'll see you next week. Bye.
The noodles dangle in the flames of Kabbalah. They smell like the burnt souls of the innocent who gave their lives to have this pasta be cooked in the flames, the hot flames, the fire that burns within ourselves. Our souls are just a reflection of these spaghetti noodles dangling forever above the flames of passion. And we continue to cook and burn, but then new noodles get formed. They're stronger this time, with more passion and more love and more comedy. And these noodles may be hot and may be spicy, they may burn, but so does our passion. And so I'll leave you with this. If you feel like making anything, whether it's lunch, a video, a movie, maybe a documentary about how your toes are longer than your fingers. Go ahead and do it. This is your reminder. This is your moment to take life by the horns and go bye, because it's your life. Thank you. All right, Brett, this is a new segment of the podcast.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to start it exclusively here in the audio ending.
The test?
The test.
Okay.
Because the test doesn't make it in the video, does it?
Correct.
That's fantastic. Although it might make it in this one. So
I mean, if it needs to, it can, because we're filming now.
It's okay. I like to call this segment the end at the beginning.
Okay.
And I want you to review how you think the podcast is going to go.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, give it a little... what do you feel like?
I think it's probably going to be better than I feel.
Okay, which is usually the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean?
I think we always have a fantastic episode.
Yeah.
And you're like, Tim, I'm
happened,
the worst.
That hasn't happened since like 2014.
Dude.
I just mean I don't feel great right now.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot going on.
But I think the podcast will be good.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a little all over the place.
Yes. But I mean, which podcast isn't?
Yeah,
what
you're
podcast,
right.
What, who, which?
That's true.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a rousing race to the finish.
Dang. So we're going to be racing.
Yes.
Each other or just in general?
Just time.
Just time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're always racing time.
Racing
anyways.
time.
Yep.
Yeah. Fighting for your right to party.
That's right.
Do you get a prediction or just me?
I can predict. I think...
I don't want you to get one.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. You can.
No, it doesn't matter.
No, go ahead. I want to hear it.
My prediction
You have 10 seconds.
is that we're going to have a great time. And when you look back at this part, you're going to be like, dang, I can't believe I said that.
9 seconds. That's pretty good.
Thanks.
Oh, come on, man.